Greetings all, love and light within. Okay, well, it's a beautiful day and it seems like the trees are releasing their leaves, their old leaves. You know, they're getting brushed with leaves at the moment. So I thought I'd do a video because today I'm going to be posting my letter of notice to the estate agents, Raven estate agents, that I will no longer be renewing my lease for the room in this house that is not a HMO legally. Or what I've been made aware of is that it's a PSYOPs. It's a PSYOPs building. And it was created by the 5 organisations that banded together in order to attempt to put me in a box. And this is why I love my vessel that I've chosen, because my vessel is a genius. My vessel is a mega genius, alpha genius, omega genius. Because it figured it out. I figured it out. The vessel figured it out. The human figured it out. That it is a psychological operation within this quote-unquote HMO. Because let's look at the variables, shall we? Let's look at the elements in the equation. So I was going through some stuff in 2025, and I went to these organisations that claim to help people. These organisations don't help people. All they do is they help the organisations to create a obedient race of human beings by putting them in a place that they wouldn't necessarily choose for themselves, and I would have chosen it if I was made aware of what it actually was, and the injustice that was done to this human by these 5 organisations needs to be addressed. And these organisations are Homeless Action in Barnet, Barnet Homes, Hope Worldwide, Universal Credit, and Raven Estates. Raven Estate Agency. And they put me in this house. They put me in this room filled at the time with only 2 people. So for me, when I got there, it was like, okay, it's okay. There's just 2. It's a HMO. I never experienced what it was like to be in a HMO. So I took the positive side of it and thinking, let's see what this experience is going to be like. However, as the months went by of me living in this quote-unquote HMO, that's not legally a HMO, I began to notice patterns. I do have pattern recognition, and I started noticing patterns. And the patterns I started noticing were very, very psychologically interesting, because they were trying to essentially get an emotional reaction out of me. It's funny that I find it quite funny, because I specifically told these organisations that I don't consume alcohol. I choose not to consume alcohol in this moment, and I choose not to do drugs, and I choose not to consume television, and I choose not to put my energy that stops me from growing and tries to put me in a box. And these organisations, those 5 organisations, all banded together and put me in this PSYOPs. And the reason why I mentioned that I don't do drugs is because it's going to get rid of all of the naysayers thinking that I'm paranoid. Now, I'm not paranoid because I don't consume alcohol and I don't do drugs. So I started noticing patterns. The people that they started to fill up the house, and then I'm just going to start calling it a house, were essentially a part of this PSYOPs operation. And because I know what it is now, and because I've become made aware of what it is, I don't prefer that. And I will not continue to stay there anymore. I will not be a part of these organizations and what they have done. Because if they'd have told me what they were doing, they know they wouldn't have got away with it. Because I'm here on this planet, on this plane of existence, to exist, not to be put in a box, not to be tamed, not to be emotionally manipulated. Because manipulating someone or pushing someone to their breaking point and getting them to and watching them snap and then shaming them or casting judgment on them for doing something that essentially wasn't their fault, that is emotional manipulation. So I'm going to be sending off the letter today to let them know that I will not be renewing the lease. I will not be staying there any longer. Now, where will I go? It doesn't matter. All that matters, and all I'm very, very concerned with... Oh, hello, Mr. Spider. Little spider crawling on my hand. I don't know if you can see him on the camera. There he is. There he is, swinging by it. And I'm recording this message to let everyone know that I'm going to be sending the letter in a moment. I'm just waiting to get a stamp and a envelope. And I'm going to be sending the letter. Now that I'm not going to be living in this psyops, I am going to see how they react. Because one thing about this reality, and one thing that I'm grateful for, is I don't own anything. I don't own anything, and I am grateful for that. And the reason why I don't own anything is because they can't take anything from me. So, I've got a little thing in my hair. So now that I know that what this place is, I've begun to observe it from an observational perspective. And it's been really eye-opening. I'm just the one that actually figured it out. Again, these organizations should be held accountable for this, because they didn't help me in a way that was in growth, for me to grow. And that's okay, because that was their choice. That was their choice to do what they done. And, I forgive them for me, and I forgive my choices that I made in that moment that I made it in the past. And I'm moving forward. I'm moving upwards and I'm moving forward. And I'm cutting all ties with all of these low vibrational energies. So I'm going to be recording their reaction after I've sent the letter. So I'm going to be journaling it, I'm going to be recording it, see how they go, see what they do, in a sense of how they react or how they respond to my letter, because I'm not staying in that place anymore. I'm better off leaving there and walking away from that. Now, where will I go? Who knows? The world is my oyster, and it matters not. So, you heard it here first. They put me in a psyops, and for those who don't know what a psyops is, Google it. It's a psychological operation. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.